Hello, this is just a very quick video to give you a quick hint on JavaScript, in particular studying for the quizzes and tests. So we have a bunch of methods that you're supposed to know here and some punctuation items and different things. And one way to test these things out, I'll log into my class account here. So one way to test out some of these things to make sure you know how to use them is to make a file. So I could make a file here, test.js, and if I don't remember if length is a function or something that I just type, I could say var string equals hello console.log s.length. If it's a method or a function that runs, then I would have parentheses here. If it's not, then I wouldn't. And that printed out okay. Or if I don't remember whether the square root button or square root function comes from if I don't remember if it comes from calling something like x dot square root, or it might be capital math dot square root. It's the way some of these things work. So if I don't remember, then I can make a file and test it. I got an error on this one with x dot square root, so let's take that one out. Okay, so I can try it out if I sort of remember. I can go and look it up online. JavaScript square root. And a lot of times the W3 schools is what you'll come to first, and you'll get the information there. Another way to quickly try some things out is listed here. There's two places where you can get a JavaScript console and just try things out interactively. If I'm on a web page, I click on Inspect Element and Console. This shows me any warning messages that might have come up from JavaScript, but then there's also a prompt here where I can type things. Okay, so there I have a variable x. I can do x times x. I can do math dot square root of x, or if I didn't remember, that gives me an error. I can see here a list of things that could be called on this string here. Slice even is sort of auto-completing here to try and help you remember. If I do slice 1,3, that does something. Okay, so I can try out a lot of these, especially the functions to try out. These functions and how to enter numbers. So if I don't remember whether hexadecimal is allowed in different ways, or scientific notation, what is 3.14 E5, say. Okay, so I can try that out here. I can also do it in my terminal over here. We normally run the files by saying node and then the name of a file, and it runs the commands. If you just type node, then it gives me a similar kind of prompt. Now this one is not going to autocomplete like it does over here in the browser, but I can say x equals 5, x times x, math dot square root of x. Alright, so if you're studying, you want to try out all these different functions and test that you remember how to use them correctly. And a lot of this kind of stuff can be tested as well. So you can test these operators here. Do you remember what the difference is between all of these? and all of these. So if you're not quite sure what is the value of 10 mod 3, it's the remainder, and that's 1. So a lot of these things you can try out over here. And when you're done here, of course, in the browser, you can just close this anytime. Over here, there's a couple ways to exit. One is .exit. You can also control D, which is the end of input character. And we'll make a note here. When running node without a file name, type .exit to quit, or control D. Okay, so that's it. Just an advice of, as you study this to get ready for the quizzes and exams, you should try these things out and make sure you remember how to use them. And probably half the time you'll make a mistake and you have to go look it up, and then you remember it, and the next time you go and practice it, hopefully you'll remember. And then when you take the quiz or the test, you're not going to have enough time to look everything up. That's part of the design, that you have to study it so that you know it better. Good luck.